Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and if you are new here, hello, welcome. I hope you'll consider subscribing for lots more diamond painting content. And if you are back, welcome back. Today I am here with another WIP and Chat, my weekly WIP and Chat. And if you're new, WIP stands for Work in Progress and Chat stands for Chat. So feel free to whip out your whip and work alongside me. And that's just a phrase I have not been able to get away from saying since saying it as a joke forever ago, but the whip out your whip part. But anyway, I'm going to be working on a diamond painting today, and I'll tell you all about it in just a minute, but I invite you to craft alongside me, or if you'd like to treat this like a podcast while you're out and about, whatever works for you. This is just a fun chance to get to catch up on life and talk a little bit. And of course, as always, I love hearing from you guys in the comments, so feel free to let me know how you're doing, what you're up to, what you were doing while we crafted, and I look forward to reading about it. So let me tell you about what we're working with today. So I am really excited. I'm going to be working on a kit from a new to me company. Do I have the artwork handy? I do not. But I will have it linked below if you'd like to take a look. I do believe that it is out of stock at the moment, but that the owner is planning to restock it. The name of this piece is Sweet Dreams. It is by the artist Elora Poutret and is from a brand new shop called Diamond Artisan Shop. And I had a lot of fun when I unboxed this with you guys a while back, and I knew I wanted to work on it pretty quickly so that I could let you know just what my experience was with the shop and the kit and everything, since it's brand new. And the owner also, after she saw that I unboxed, I did buy this kit myself. She just let me know, like, hey, let me know if you have any feedback. I really want to make sure that I'm making improvements or changes or addressing if there's anything that comes up. So we'll see. Okay, let me tell you about what else I've got here, and then we'll start working. I'll talk a little bit more about the kit and everything that's going on. So this pen is from C'est Plus Beau à Tours, and they're located in France, but I bought this, it's been a while. It's actually been a while since I bought a pen from their shop. I think Facebook might not be showing me the notifications from their group. That's where they do most of their drops now. But anyway, I really love this one, and it suits this artwork really well too. Just all the pretty pink sparkles and mesh. And then the tray, I just unboxed this in a recent small shop haul. It is the Blue Lagoon colorway from Muni Made. I had gotten on the wait list for a custom order, and no special treatment here. I waited like everyone else. And she like had all the information there as far as like how many diamond painting trays or whatever you can buy and all that. So it's all she tries to be really fair about it. But my number came up, and I placed my order, and it came in. And this one, since it's a like specialty kind of gradient tray, I had to get it with I don't normally use like the lid and stopper, but it came with them. You can see the pretty colors. I'm a sucker for these. I just noticed there's a little something in here from, okay, there, if you have cats, you know. My cat just lost his mind and tore up the stairs like something was chasing him. Anyway, and then this wax, this is from Sensible by Design. Apple Melody is the scent. And I feel like Sensible Design is probably more well known for their putty, which I also really like their putty, but I like their wax a lot more than I was expecting to as well. This is a cover minder that was made for me by a viewer and friend a couple years back. It's a sticker that they put into resin and with glitter and made it into a minder for me. And they made this along with another one that I love them. They have a lot of very special meaning and encouragement. So progress, not perfection. A reminder we could probably all use. And then putty from Randa's Crafty Corner is what I'll be using in my multi-placer today. So let me get situated. And I think, okay, yes, I still need to section off. I haven't measured this next row off yet. Now, I know a lot of people think that sectioning off with washi tape is excessive or unnecessary, and that's, you do what works for you. For me, I love using washi tape. Let me see if this metal multi-placer is if I can wrap it in enough washi tape that it will sit okay in this pen. Anyway, but I love sectioning with washi tape, and I've been doing it for a very, very long time. I've tried release papers, and those, in certain circumstances, I do like release paper, but the ease of using washi tape is what I'm here for. And just the way that my brain works. Oh, that worked perfectly. Okay, so there's a little bit sticking out. I'm just going to leave it. But if you find that you put a placer, and particularly a metal multi-placer is the one you may see issues with this, if you pop it in the end of your pen and it's wanting to be really loose and spin or even flat fall out, if you wrap the end of it like I just did in washi tape, that usually will help quite a bit. And in this case, now it's not really loose at all. Of course, if I tried to spin it, it would spin, but I'm not trying to spin it. I just want it to be there secure enough in there that I don't have to worry about it when I'm diamond painting. I hope that makes sense. But and then for putty, I just kind of, you could pinch it off and then like roll it between your fingers, but this is the easier way to do it. Load that up. This is a 10 placer. I have the stainless steel multi-placers, the ones that I use from AliExpress, linked in the description of these videos, but just leave a comment or shoot me a message if you go to click the link and it's not active anymore, because it's AliExpress, like it changes all the time and stuff. What were the measurements for the sections on this one? And yes, I do. I use a measuring tape to figure out what the sort of even sections will make. Okay, this is about 12 centimeters. They're kind of big sections because it is round drills and has a fair amount of color blocking in some areas. Okay, so we'll do right to there. Cover up that. Okay. If you want a video that just, I mean, you're kind of getting a mini demo right here, but if you want a video that really gets you up close and you can see me working on sectioning off a canvas with washi tape and how I use washi tape and why I use washi tape, I have that video. I have a video dedicated to exactly that, and I will do my level best to remember to link it in the description box of this video. 2 different colors of washi tape meeting here because I ran out of this roll on the other project I was working on. I use up these thin rolls from Simply Gilded because I don't use them around the border, so I just use them for sectioning. Anyway, I use a ceramic blade pen to cut the section. I've never cut through a canvas with this, and I've been using it for 3 years probably now. Actually, that exact same one. They should be pretty cheap on Amazon or something like that, but I know a lot of people freak out about cutting through the canvas, and they'll be like, no, I use scissors and lift the plastic off and all that. And again, I say whatever works for you, do that. But for me, actually, I don't have to put the minder up there. I'm just gonna leave it up here to keep us company. For me, this is what works for me. Scissors are a little more unwieldy. This, I feel like it can be really precise because I just go right down the way. Anyway, hi, how are you today? I hope that your week is off to a wonderful start and that you had a great weekend. It is, already we're getting into the second week of September, and it's been another busy week, but a good week. It's been fun to get back to this project a little bit. I started it at the very end of August, and I knew that I was not going to finish it before Drills and Chills kicked off. But I thought that's okay. I'll use it to kind of work on sort of in between or alongside Drills and Chills projects a bit. Sometimes I like to have a break from event projects during events because I'm trying not to burn out on said event. Even though I really love all things fall and Halloween, it's not too hard to avoid burnout with it at least. But I worked on this a little bit. I don't think I've shared any progress pictures on Instagram, maybe at all. I think I might have just posted the start photo for this one, and then I think it may have been all Drills and Chills since. But I have worked on this a bit in the background, and I'm coming up on the halfway point of it. And there's something that's really fun about working on a kit from a new company because it's, you just sort of are discovering new things and seeing, okay, what do I like? What do I dislike? What feedback might I want to give? And it's nice to be able to hopefully be helpful to, a new small shop if they want feedback. And hopefully it's really helpful to you guys. I mean, that's the whole reason I started my channel in the first place. My whole motivation for starting my YouTube channel 3 years ago, which I think I probably just had my 3rd YouTube anniversary. I don't remember what the exact date for that was, but I think it was either end of August or beginning of September. I think it's past. I think that I've missed it. And all of the like Drills and Chills and back to school stuff. But what was I saying? Oh, the reason I started my channel in the first place is because it was not too long after Distracted by Diamonds had started offering diamond paintings This was back when I think that you could count on one hand the number of shops that had licensed artwork. And Distracted by Diamonds was one of them. And I wanted the chance to post a review video, but it was going to be too long for Instagram's video length limit at the time. And so I thought, well, like, I don't really know that I want to have a YouTube channel. I'm not like a YouTuber. Like, I didn't really watch YouTube videos. I just started to kind of dip my toes into it and watch, Miss Coffee and Rachel Ray were the first two that I, came across and discovered with diamond painting and YouTube. And that's so I was like, well, let me kind of see what's going on out there. I don't want to like step on any toes. I don't really know what I'm doing. Like, how are people doing things? Like, what's sort of the etiquette and expectations? And then I only made a couple of videos, in the first few months. And I remember telling Adam, I think I went a month in between making videos. And Adam was like, so how's YouTube stuff going? I said, I don't know if I'm really going to keep up with it. I don't know if it's really for me. And I don't know what changed that then I decided there are other projects that I really wanted to share. And it just happened very organically. I didn't set out like, I want to do X, Y, and Z, and I want to grow, and I want to do all this. Like, I didn't even look at like numbers or anything like that. I just was like, I need a better place to put these long review videos I want to do, which I think that the Instagram video length limit at the time was something like, okay, I was going to say it was either 2 minutes or 10 minutes. And I paused and was silent there for a second because I was like, that's a huge difference. But I think, I'm trying to remember what it was. Whatever it was, I just thought, I don't really know that Instagram is the platform where this is going to be practical, or are people really going to sit down and watch a 10-minute Instagram video? Like, no, I don't think that's really going to be a thing. I just thought, I don't think this is going to be a really helpful way to do this. So, and now here we are 3 years later. So, where did I start on? How did I start on this? Oh, because I was talking about why I started doing what I do, which is just to be helpful. And that sort of evolved into like, okay, sharing about life, and we're going to do some unboxings too. And how about some small shop hauls? Okay, now how about some tutorials? And I love teaching in a way, like in a non-pretentious way. It's like, I don't know. I like sharing information if I feel like there's helpful information to share. And yeah, so anyway, this kit has been really wonderful to work on as far as the colors go. I'm running into just a little bit of an issue with some of these diamonds having, and just really a couple of the colors, it's not all of them, but some of them having like a little bit of extra plastic around the bottom. I'll find a color that's not blue. I'll find a color that has more contrast with the color of this tray. Because right now there's blue in there, it's hard to see. I see one that would be a good example, but I don't think you'll be able to really make it out because it's blue on blue. When I've got, there's a beige or an ivory color that has a bit of an issue with the bottoms of the diamonds, the base sort of having a little bit of extra plastic around it. I'm making just a little list that I'll try to really respectfully and gently share with the shop owners. Like, okay, here's my observations. But the colors are so gorgeous. They're so, 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 so beautiful. I guess if I show you the tray, I can't really show you the whole canvas. You can see it over here though, actually. Like some pastels and some neons. And I feel like when the colors are down, it is much more vibrant than the printing on the canvas. But like, here's my Elizabeth Ward container. You can see all the pretty colors. Okay, if I tilt it down out of the glare, yep, that's just gonna stack. That's fine. We have some ABs. Just purples, teals, pinks. It's just pretty. It's just really, really pretty. That's where that one's gonna go. Okay. And yeah, so Diamond Artisan Shop, definitely go and take a look at what they have. I don't know if they have any square drill kits yet. I think they do. But when it works out that way, I like to get kits with round diamonds to test first. Since round diamonds are a little bit less risky than square diamonds since they don't sit perfectly flush up with one another. But yeah, I am using the chance I'm using the time that I'm working on this kit now as a chance to, there we go, decide what I want my next Drills and Chills project to be. I finished my first Drills and Chills project today, which I'm excited about, but I'm also going, wow, that took a long time for what my normal diamond painting pace is. Part of that was because I was working a little bit on this canvas alongside it, but mostly it was because Drills and Chills has been, it took off in an amazing way, and it's been very busy. It's been very busy, and it's been a little tricky to try to find good ways to balance all the things related to it. You know, I brought on like another mod, and we're all pretty active and keep an eye on things. But there's a lot that like really specifically Lindsay and I have to do, and we're just two people. And it's, you know, we've had to make some like tricky decisions about, okay, how do we balance? We want this to be a really welcoming and accessible event. But we also need to, like, because there are so many questions about, you know, how things work and what to do here and how to, you know, does this kit qualify, stuff like that. We just had to find ways to sort of make it more manageable because we were spending, all day, just felt like, on that kind of thing. But it was like, it's not that we don't want to be helpful and we feel bad, but it felt like, okay, what are some ways we can try to streamline that hopefully people won't get too frustrated with us? And we've had, you know, obviously some mixed success with that, because I know it would be great if we could be available and be able to just like answer all the things and all that. I feel really bad about that. Yeah. I know you guys often I will get comments when I make remarks like this where people will say, oh, it's terrible that you feel like you have to apologize, don't feel like you have to apologize and all that. But you know, I'm a chronic people pleaser. I can't not take into consideration how other people are feeling. But you know, it's rolling along. It's been really fun to see a lot of people have completed projects now and are, you know, picking up more. And it was really satisfying to finish my first Drills and Chills kit. I don't have it handy to show you. You'll have to stay tuned. I'm sure I'll post a finish over on my Instagram here pretty soon. So if you'd like to follow me on Instagram, I do have that always linked in my description boxes of my videos. Feel free to take a look there if you like, or if you just go over there and type in Diamonds and Washi, there's underscores in between diamonds and Washi. That was really hard to say. That'll, you know, hopefully that'll bring it up. Ow, what is happening? I'm getting stabbed by something. Did this chip, like, I keep like trying to hold my pen and feeling like, ow, something's poking me. There's a tiny bit. You see it? There's like a tiny bit of the mesh is poking out of the resin. Let me see. Oh, did I just pick it off? Did I get rid of it? No, it's right there. Let's see if I can. Oh, did that get it? Nope. It's like it's stabbing me. What is happening? I don't want to break this pen. It's like I need nail clippers or something. That really does not want to come off. Okay, hold on. Sorry for the tangent. Oh, it's like it lifted from. Okay. If I can't get this to work, I'm just going to try to like bend it down so it doesn't stab me and not keep distracting you guys. I'm sorry. I'll go get nail clippers if it keeps being an issue, but hopefully that, I tried to push it down. Okay. I don't know. Okay. I keep saying okay. And I keep not moving on. Ooh, did I get it? Nope. Okay. Let's move on for real this time. I was talking about, Instagram, I think, and finishing my first Drills and Chills kit. It was Witch Bedroom by Diamond Art Club, and the artist is Mrs. Buttard. And as far as what I'm going to work on next, you should be so proud of me. I narrowed it down to like 15 options. I guess I have a lot of kits in my stash that fit the theme of the event, like fall or Halloween in some way. So what I did is I put up, yes, all 15, in my Patreon, which I do have a Patreon. I rarely push it at all. I'm not pushing it now either. I rarely mention it. But I do have a Patreon if you're curious for more behind the scenes info and just sort of doing more of life together, especially if you enjoy WIP and Chats. You might enjoy Patreon because I do weekly vlogs for a couple of the tiers, and those are so fun. And also I try to have them help me with deciding on projects and content from time to time. So I put up all 15 of those kits, and I just said, I just want to try to map out what I want to work on throughout the course of the event. So if you want to share what you think, what you'd like to see, I would love to hear it. So it's been fun to see those responses rolling, because I just put up that poll today, and I have a couple of those kits that it's like I know I want to work on, and I don't want, you know, all the kits that I work on for this event to be from just one company, even though I have like a ton of kits from Diamond Art Club that fit the theme. It's like, no, I want to show a variety of shops love throughout the course of the event. And so it's like there's a Jaded Gem Shop kit in the mix, there's an Oraloa kit in the mix, there's an Enablers Outpost kit in the mix, there's a Diamond Dots kit in the mix. There's more that I'm so sorry, I know I'm forgetting. No shade intended, my memory is just actually very terrible. As in, like, it was part of my autism diagnosis, terrible. And so, yeah, there's a lot. Oh, there's a Distracted by Diamonds kit in there. I'm like going through it in my head, like, what other small shop kits, Halloween kits were in there. So it's like, I know that I do want to work on, you know, for sure, a variety of these. So even if, you know, people are mostly like, oh, these Diamond Art Club kits, I know that I'm still going to mix it up with small shop kits, but I want to take that into, you know, those thoughts into consideration. And I have paralyzing indecision. So if I can have anything to help me make those choices, I'm gonna jump right on that. So, yeah, I guess you'll just have to stay tuned. And I do want to leave space to work on some non-event related kits like this one. I have so many kits, and there's just not enough time in a day. It'd be so great if I didn't need to sleep. I could get so much more done. Speaking of sleep, it has been rough trying to get into a rhythm with getting up earlier and not just like taking the kids to school and then going back to sleep. It's like I'm trying to shift my schedule back, and I'm not doing the best job of it. Speaking of not doing the best job, I am doing a horrific job of multi-placing right now because this is like a little bit further away from how I would normally be working on this section because of how I set up the camera so you guys would have minimal glare. And I feel like I just am not able to look at it in such a way that would let me multi-place more accurately without having to do a ton of correcting. So if you are one of the ones that watches WIP and Chats and doesn't just listen, my deepest apologies. But yeah, sleep has been a little bit of I'm trying to push my body to get into a better rhythm, and that just seems to be a perpetual struggle. But yeah, no, that's happening. What was I gonna say? I had a fun little outing on Friday for myself where I knew that Adam was going to be going into the office for work that day. He mostly works from home and just goes in, you know, maybe once a week or every other week. And I knew he'd be going into the office on Friday. And anyone else get actually this burst of energy and like desire to be productive when their spouse isn't going to be home or their partner isn't going to be home. I just thought, oh my gosh, like the kids are going to be at school, Adam's going to be at work, I'm going to have the whole house to myself. Like, what am I going to do? I'm so excited. So what did I decide to do? Not apparently take full advantage of having the house to myself. No, I was like, I'm going to go on a little road trip to one of my favorite stores that I haven't been to in a while. So the store is called Kirkland's, and it's a home decor store, and just the whole sort of vibe of the home decor is very much my taste. It's very cozy. It's kind of modern farmhousey, and it just is. It's happy. I just feel happy when I walk in there. Besides they used to have. It wasn't as bad this time. They used to have like tables of like candles and incense that would be kind of an overpowering smell. I'd have to rush past, but I don't remember noticing that this past time. But The closest one is about a 25-minute drive for me, which at least here in Southern California, where everything basically is within a 10-minute drive, it was, a little bit of a drive. It's not someplace that I go terribly often, but I also actually really enjoy the drive because most of the areas around us, it's very suburban. There's lots of houses, there's lots of people, and like not as much greenery and open spaces. But the particular drive from where we live to this closest store, there's this really, really pretty kind of back road drive that goes through like a big like state park and actually, well, I don't know if it's a state park. Anyway, it's like a park, I think it's a state park or a county park. It doesn't matter. But it's just a pretty drive. It's kind of up into like a little bit of mountains and then back down, and really pretty views and a lot of greenery and not so many houses. And it's just a nice little break for me from sort of like suburbia and that's kind of city and more people crowded vibe. I grew up in the Midwest. I grew up in the country, and I miss aspects of that sometimes. So doing this little drive the drive itself even was a treat. But I hadn't made my way out to this Kirkland's in a while, and I didn't end up buying anything. I just kind of browsed. I window shopped a bit. I've been wanting to replace our kitchen chairs for a while because they're very, very, very old. No matter how many times we try to tighten up the legs on them, they just perpetually want to get looser. And I'm not looking to just be sitting here crafting and minding my business and have the chair collapse out from under me because the legs got loose again. That has yet to happen. But also, I don't know. I just I'm over them. They're really beat up. And I don't know. It feels like I've been hunting for new kitchen chairs for over a year. It went on pause for a while, and I did lose quite a lot of motivation to do things related to home projects. Like a lot of diamond painters here, I struggle with my mental health. I deal with anxiety and depression, and just the way that manifests sometimes, for me, that can be like, well, I just don't feel like doing any sort of home decor or anything like that, or I don't feel like doing X, Y, and Z. Like, I'm just trying to somehow attempt to maybe keep up with keeping the house clean. Like, I'm not looking to be changing out my home decor seasonally or something. I just want to try to hold it together. And so I have been feeling that shift lately in a good way, where I'm more excited about the prospects of some of these, home related things. And so I'm just embracing it, while I'm into it. Great. But no, I didn't find any kitchen chairs that I had to have, but, I'm okay with hunting for the right thing. I'm okay with taking my time and researching and, waiting for a sale, waiting for a deal until I find just the right thing. I can be pretty patient. Sometimes I want to be an impulse buyer, and sometimes I no, I'm not in a rush. I'm going to wait until the right thing comes along. And I'm nearly always very, very happy that I did. So anyway, that was a fun little trip, and it was conveniently located right next to like a big Home Goods. And so didn't buy anything there either, but I just enjoyed window shopping. It was fun. It's the little things. Okay, what symbol makes the most sense to do next? Let's do the letter D. Let's see if we call that was a color blocked blue. I am finding, let me do this, that I'm having a little bit of trouble with keeping the canvas sort of flat, and like where I laid the washi, like on the border, it felt like it laid really straight, but the canvas is wanting to pull and buckle a little bit there. I'm not sure why. I think that the plastic cover maybe is really thick, and I don't know. I'm not gonna panic at all about it. I want to see this canvas finished, and then if I have concerns once it's finished, then I'll know, it was, something that was not a huge deal, or user error, or yeah. So, yes, that was my little Friday adventure. I got up because I was just excited about having the house to myself until the kids got home from school. I like got up and I stayed up after the kids went to school and Adam left, and I didn't sleep in like crazy. And I got my coffee and then drove over to shop, and then I came back home. I swung through Trader Joe's, and you guys, Trader Joe's has put out their pumpkin stuff. Well, at least some of it. I had asked the Trader Joe's workers, the cashier that was checking me out, checking out my like food, not checking me out. But I asked, I was like, oh, do you know, I thought I saw one or two kind of pumpkin things out on the floor. I didn't know if it's about that time. And he said, well, it depends on the store and like what inventory has been ordered and when and stuff like that. But then he had said like, oh yeah, like no, we are starting to get it in. So okay, so when I come next week, there will hopefully be even more out. And he's like, yeah, hopefully. So yeah, that was me coming back this week and seeing lots of pumpkin things. What really caught my eye? There was something in the pastry area that was like an apple cinnamon roll pastry thing that looked so good. But I was like, no, not this time. Maybe next week. And then I stocked up on their pumpkin bars. My kids really love those. It's like their favorite thing ever. I bought like 4 boxes, and I'm going to try to let them not just like mow through them. And I'll stock up tons before, pumpkin season ends. But I don't know. Do you guys have any like favorite pumpkin-y things from, it doesn't have to be Trader Joe's, just from any store. That was fun. I'm glad that they're starting to roll that stuff out. And I'm so ready for fall. I think that it isn't the official first day of fall just yet. But for me, I feel like any time after Labor Day is fair game. I'm calling it fall, even if the calendar or whatever doesn't agree with me. Oops. Sent the diamond flying. See, here's the thing. There's a lot of alphanumeric symbols, and I'm having trouble figuring out which ones are like jumping out at my eye. And then as far as some family updates go and other fun things that we've been doing, which by the way, I don't know if you've noticed, but I tend to try to talk about like not kid related stuff up front and then shift to talking about if I have stuff to talk about with my kids later in my WIP and Chat, because I know that not everyone is here for that, and that's completely fine. But I figure that way it's like if you want to hang out for a little bit and then you want to bounce when I start talking about my kids, I get it. No harm done. I love that there are a bunch of different creators out here that talk about different things in their videos, and if someone's not your jam or whatever, which that's happened to me before, you can just can not make a thing out of it, and just you don't have to watch their stuff. Or if there's certain videos that you don't care for, that's totally fine. The reality is that like I am a mom, my kids are a huge part of my life, and very much a part of my day to day. I'm a stay-at-home mom with, this kind of side gig that is mostly just a hobby that I have lots of fun with. But yeah, no, I feel like, kids are often a really big part of a parent's life. And so that's probably going to be something they talk about if they're talking about, if their WIP and Chats are just, sort of doing life together. I mean, when you do, a lot of us do weekly WIP and Chats, and I don't know, you can run out of other stuff to talk about, I suppose. I don't know if you want me to start like comparing the price of cheeses in West Europe or something, but all this to say that I do understand if it's not your thing, and but for many of you, I hear from you saying like, oh, it's so nice to hear about your kiddos or how they're doing and everything, and it's a lot of you have watched them or just sort of been alongside me as they've grown. I just mentioned about how my YouTube channelversary, I think I just hit 3 years, and like that's a lot of life to go through together, and a lot that can happen with kiddos too. So but anyway, just a little sidebar there. But we went on a fun little trip. It was a very spur of the moment trip on Saturday. Adam Adam and I kind of woke up Saturday morning and realized we're like, oh, we don't really have any other plans for today. Usually there's sort of some sort of thing on the calendar. And I think Adam and I were both kind of feeling the itch to not just chill at home. And we figured the kids probably wouldn't love that either necessarily. So for once, I was the one that had some suggestions. We were thinking, okay, we don't really want to spend money and, as much as we can help it. We don't necessarily want to take them somewhere we have to pay. It's really, really hot, so we don't know that we want to take them to an outdoor park. We're kind of kicking around ideas, and I said, well, how about we do either this? How about we either do a little trip just to the coast, find a park on like the beach that we could take the kids to, and that way it won't be nearly as hot because it's often like 15 degrees cooler Fahrenheit on the coast. And so I was like, why don't we either do that? Or I said, or why don't you text your parents and see if they're around today and if they'd be up for a spur of the moment visit. His parents live a bit south of us. I'm not looking to dox anyone, but they live, maybe an hour and a half south of us. And we thought, okay, well, that would get us out of the house for a while. And of course, like, we'd get to see Adam's parents, and the kids would be stoked to see their grandparents. And of course, the grandparents would be excited to see their grandkids. And it had been a little while since we'd driven down to their place. So Adam texted, and they were free. They were all about it. They're like, oh, we're just finishing up watching tennis and a football game. And they said, well, by the time you get down here, those should have wrapped up. So we drove down with the kids and got there just, maybe an hour or two before dinner time. And we played at Grandma and Grandpa's house and had some dinner. And then thought, well, we still got a little bit of time. But it's starting to get cooler because it's evening. Of course, it's cooler down where they are anyway because they're much closer to the coast. But we thought, why don't we take the kids to a park and then we'll head home. We'll get home a bit after bedtime, but there's no school tomorrow and it's not going to be that much later. And so we took the kids to the park and they ran around and had a blast. And Adam's parents were, thrilled. And so we had a really fun, spur of the moment visit, and then we drove home. We even took Adam's new to us car we buy used. We decided to take that car down because we really are trying to not put too many miles on my car because it is much older and has a lot of miles on it. We're really trying to not have that be a big commuter car at this point. Now that we have the second car. So we took Adam's car down, and I thought, okay, he's like, do you want to drive or you think you'll be okay? And I said, well, it's not a stick shift and we'll be mostly highway driving, so let's try it. So we can always pull over and switch if we need to, because I can get pretty badly car sick, and it got to a point where I couldn't really ride in Adam's last car because it's stick shift, and just the nature of a stick shift and how it's a little bit more jerky. It just was too much for me. I would feel so nauseous. I'd have a headache, and it was not super pleasant. So whenever we go anywhere, we would just take my car and I would drive. And this time I did okay. I was really fine on the freeway, but then we hit some stop and go traffic when we were, probably 30, 40 minutes away. And that was rough. I was making sure I wasn't looking at my phone, and I was trying to drink water and look up and just have air blowing on my face. Sometimes that helps. I was trying to do all the things, and I was still just ooh, I'm feeling a little, I'm getting a headache and feeling a little, I don't know. But it was still nice. It was nice that we were able to ride in his car, and that I was able to just be a passenger and hang out. And we discovered that, I discovered, because Connor has ridden with Adam a few times in his car before, I didn't realize that Adam had apparently really introduced Connor to Queen, as in the band. And Connor was so singing along to some of these songs, and it was so fun and so cute. I was like, this is fantastic. So we started off with We Will Rock You, and Connor was just all about it, and Micah was intrigued that Connor was singing along and doing the boom boom clap and everything. It was fun. I was like, this is what I live for, is these fun just little family trips and just doing things together, doing life together. So I was glad we did that. And I told him, like, aren't you proud of me? Like, I suggested I had some ideas. I did the thing. And that's just kind of consistent with what I was saying earlier, even about feeling more excited to do some home decor stuff and whatnot. It's like, oh, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling more energized in some ways, and I'm trying not to make like a whole thing of it to my own brain, and just go, okay, like I'm glad this is a thing that I feel like doing now. It's, with mental health, like that's depression. You have a hard time with energy. You don't enjoy doing things you used to and stuff like that. And yeah. So, funnily enough, though, I feel like my diamond painting time has decreased a bit because I'm having energy to get some other things done. And I'm sure I've mentioned this more than once in past WIP and Chats, that I just am letting myself be okay with that. Letting myself be okay with, it's all right, I don't have to have 4 finishes every month. And it's okay if I go, I'm not going to spend a ton of time diamond painting today. And I have other stuff that I want to get done instead. And that's really perfectly okay. I will say, though, we got to the end of the day on Saturday after our little trip down and back. We got the kids to bed. And honestly, I was tired enough. I probably could have gone right to bed. This was like at 9:30. And Adam was like, I'm going to sleep. I'm so wiped out. I was like, yeah, I haven't diamond painted at all today. And I like have the itch. Like I want to go diamond paint really badly. So I was like, I'm going to go downstairs and diamond paint, even if it's just for 20 minutes, that's fine. Spoiler alert. I ended up staying up for like 3 or 4 hours diamond painting. And, I was bouncing back and forth, like between watching some videos and some Supernatural and stuff, and I was up late. But I finished like 2 or 3 sections on Which Bedroom, which was the main reason I finished it today, which is Sunday. So I miss diamond painting when I don't do it in a day. I miss it a lot. But I also am not spending as many hours a day. Bless you. Doing it as I have in the past, and that's completely okay. I still am getting a lot done and loving diamond painting. A lot of it too is just the sheer amount of time that by necessity goes into things related to drills and chills. Not a complaint whatsoever, just an observation, just something that I know to be true. And yeah, so anyway, other things that are going on, little kiddo updates. They both had pretty darn good weeks at school. It was just a 4-day week, so we had the holiday on Monday, and the kids settled into the rhythm of, going to school on Tuesday and the rest of the week pretty well. Adam and I tried to really deliberately, we're trying to mix up a bit who is taking them to school in the morning and who's picking them up. Thankfully, we have that kind of flexibility with Adam's work right now. But last year, because I was the one that, just for how we started out and everything, I was the one that always was getting up and getting Micah ready for school. And I'd gotten to a point where I just said, Adam, I just want to try to like get more sleep. Can you try getting up with Micah in the morning and getting him ready for school, getting him on the bus? And I was like, oh yeah, of course. And we tried it, and Micah wouldn't have it because that was not what he was used to. It was out of his routine, and he got really, really upset and insisted that I be the one that get him up and ready for school, that I needed to be awake and be there. Now, if I weren't there, if I weren't present at all, like I've been out of town before or something like that, he'd be totally fine and he'd get up and let Adam get him ready. That would be not a big deal at all. But if he knows I'm here, which he always goes and checks our bedroom and stuff to see if I'm here in the mornings, he just doesn't understand. He doesn't get it. I never know if you're listening and you're like, okay, you've said this a million times. Yes, I'm aware your child has special needs. Some of you this might be the very first WIP and Chat you're listening to, and you might be like, what is the problem here? So apologies if I am being repetitive, and apologies if I'm pretending like, if I'm assuming that you are going to have information that you don't necessarily have. But long story short, yes, Micah has special needs. Connor does too. And it's, for Micah, that means just lots of structure, lots of routine. That's what he thrives on. That's what he needs. And so when it's been a couple of months and I've been the one getting up with him for school every single morning, and then we try to flip it and have Adam get up with him, he's just like, no, we're not going to be doing that. Where's mom? So Adam, that volume is on.
Oops, sorry.
He's watching something over there, and I think he has headphones on. It's okay. I was just like, I don't know what he's probably going to be just watching a movie or show, but I don't know if you guys want to be hearing that. I don't want to get copyright strike from YouTube. But anyway, but this year we were like, let's be really deliberate about this. From day one, we're going to mix it up. Sometimes both of us will get up with them in the mornings and walk them to school. Sometimes it'll just be one of us and we'll alternate who it is. Same with picking them up at the end of the day too. And knock on wood, you guys, so far, so good. And then I ended up canceling his Micah's speech therapy session last week, and I just let the therapist know, hey, I just want, let's cancel this week. I just want Micah to have a regular week at school so he get more used to the routine there and the classroom and the people. And then let's try again next week for speech, because the week prior he'd had a really, really, really difficult and upsetting time with trying to transition from speech to school and getting to school late and the whole setup looking very different. So send positive thoughts our way. We're going to try this again tomorrow, which for you guys is today. I'm going to take him to speech and then take him to school. And I hope it goes more smoothly this time. Front load him, talk through all the things, and he'll do great. He's going to do wonderfully. And then Connor's having a good start to his school year too. His teacher sends these little notes through this app where it's like little updates for how they're doing throughout the day, like good things that happen or any just sort of challenges they've had. And she had sent us this really cute update that said that a friend of Connor's in class was sharing about something that had happened, that they like fall off of their scooter or something, I don't know. And Connor said, oh, I'm really sorry. I hope you feel better. And the teacher just let us know about that because it was like, oh, Connor was very kind to a friend today. And I thought, oh, my heart. He's such a sweetheart. So he's doing well. He has regular homework, and they have little planners at the school, and so we're trying to get into a rhythm of okay, let's check your planner and see what we need to do tonight, and we'll get into that rhythm. And I'm like, I guess homework is more of a consistent thing in third grade. It wasn't so much a thing last year, but in second grade, but. So that's kind of the kiddo and school updates. They're doing great. They're wonderful, and I adore them. And then what else do we have going on? We've got what I'm reading and watching and listening to. These little updates. Okay, so reading wise, I have been reading Queen of Shadows, which is the 4th book in the Throne of Glass series. I actually don't remember how far along I was in it the last time that we talked. Don't worry, there will be no spoilers here. But I've been listening to it as an audiobook while I diamond paint, but I haven't necessarily always been in the mood to listen to an audiobook this past week. And so comparatively, I'm not sure how far I am compared to last week. I think I listened a little bit at the beginning of the week. I think I read a few more chapters. I'm on like chapter 54. I'm over halfway through. I listened to it. Adam is funny because I don't realize how fast I'm listening to it because I've worked up to it. I listened to it at like almost 2 times speed because you can read a lot faster at those higher speeds. But I worked up to it so gradually that it just sounds normal to me now. So I blitzed through a lot of it. There were some really like amazingly satisfying things that happened to certain characters, and I'm enjoying it. It's taken a long time to get into this Throne of Glass series. Like, it has been way harder to get into than the A Court of Thorns and Roses series and the Crescent Cities series, which are both by the same author. Those I felt like I was in it quickly and immediately, and Throne of Glass has been like slow burn. But I feel like I'm into it. I'm in it now. I imagine I'll finish it this week. I really think I will. And then next up is there are 2 pretty chunky books that I've heard a lot of people like to read in tandem, which is side by side. And there's these whole like lists that people have written out that like say, okay, first you read these chapters in this book, and then you switch and you read these chapters in the other book, and then you go back to the first one and read these chapters, and then you flip to the second one and go to these chapters. It sounds very confusing, but apparently this can be a really good way to read those books, because otherwise, they happen concurrently. From what I understand, they happen concurrently. It's just covering what different characters are doing. And apparently the first of those two books ends in a major cliffhanger, and it can feel like, oh my gosh, now I have to basically go all the way back to the beginning of the timeline that was happening in this book and wait until the end of the second book to get closure. This is me saying it second or third hand what my understanding is of why you would do the tandem read, just from what I've seen in some of the Facebook groups that I'm in. And so I'm thinking of giving it a try that way. But the thing is that I listen to these as audiobooks, and I have to start like paying attention to the chapter numbers that they say, because typically I just tune it out. But if by chance, I feel like this is a rather niche thing to bring up. If by chance you have read the Throne of Glass series, did you tandem read, what is it, Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn? I'm telling you what, you guys, all these high fantasy or these fantasy novel names, they all just start to sound completely the same to me. Yeah, so let me know. Like, if you know this very, very specific kind of thing that I'm asking you, let me know. As far as what I've been watching. Okay, so somehow the YouTube algorithm, like, pushed this video to me that actually led me down a rabbit hole that I'm highly enjoying. Why did it push this one to me? Probably because of cookies and tracking on the internet. Not the cookies you eat, but like the internet ones that just track everything that you do and look at and talk about and see. So I enjoy reading. No shame here. We do not shame here. I enjoy reading like fan fiction on Archive of Our Own, which is a really fantastic nonprofit organization, and actually they like won a Hugo Award, and they're doing really, really good things. But it's a really incredibly extensive website that covers a multitude of fandoms, and YouTube decided to push and suggested, like on the homepage, this video from this creator that it was on like, what are the list is out, like these are the top ships on AO3 for 2023. And so then I watched that, and then I just ended up going through like a bunch of her videos because it was just so funny, like, and fun how she talks about and kind of like dissects and goes in depth about like these different kinds of things that go on in like tropes and like on the website and stuff like that. It was just, I ended up on a whole rabbit hole. I probably watched like a dozen of her videos in like 2 or 3 days. So that took up a lot of my watching / listening time. But her channel, I'll find it and I'll link it below. I think it's Coley Does Things, I think is the name of it. Anyway, I'll link it below. It was entertaining. So if you do fandom things, you'd probably appreciate it. And so that was one of the things I was watching. I did binge quite a bit of Supernatural, and I just started season 10. Yes, I just started season 10. And I don't know, there's like a set of sort of like storylines that I don't get really into, I think, in season 8, and now I'm glad I powered through those and got more into seasons that I enjoy more. I also, because apparently I just am in the mood to go down more rabbit holes, Facebook pushed an article to me that was about like a book that was coming out soon from one of the Duggar kids. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. I actually did not watch the show, but I'm kind of fascinated by the concept of it and things that go on with that family. And I after kind of poking and reading through that article, it mentioned like a documentary or docu-series that had just come out on Amazon Prime, that's like about them and about like the organization that their religious organization their family's a part of and stuff. And so I just started that docu-series today and just watched like I think the first half of the first episode. But it's fascinating to me, and it's interesting to see what's happening with the kids as they're getting older. But yeah, I never watched the original show because it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But I feel like you're aware of them just sort of as a culture, at least in the United States. The Duggar family is the ones that were on like 19 Kids and Counting. Anyway, it's fascinating and sad in a lot of ways, and so many ways too. But that's kind of what I've been watching, and then listening to. Okay, so Taylor Swift fans especially. I had been putting off listening to this single that Taylor Swift put out. I think she put it out a few months ago. The one that's called You're Losing Me. And it was, what was it? At the time, if I would have been paying attention and realizing like, oh, this is only going to be available for like 48 hours, I might have tried to get my hands on it. I don't know if it was ever available for on like digital download, or if it was just this like the CD version that she sold at her concerts for like 2 nights. But anyway, you can find it, you know, people have like uploaded it to YouTube or on like TikTok and stuff. And so I had found it and I was like, I'm going to listen to this. Like I never did listen to this one. And I've just heard that it's really emotional and really raw. And I thought, I don't know, I want to make sure I'm in the right headspace for that. And so I finally did listen to it. And I just was like, oh, wow, this is something. And it was, I've been listening to it, a few times now, just sort of absorb, you know, the lyrics and the music it's hard to not want to listen to just because it's, I don't know. But yeah, so I think I've officially caught up on what she's put out and like her special drops and stuff like that. And then otherwise it's just been Taylor Swift on shuffle. I've been trying to catch up, and I've been hopping around listening to different people's WIP and Chats and videos and trying to hop into live streams and stuff again this past week too. Just kind of catching up with what people are up to. And so that's been this week. As far as what's coming up this week, I think I'm going to have a lot of unboxings for you guys. I've had a lot that I've ordered that's really starting to come in now. And so I think it might be an unboxing heavy week. I think I'm going to save my review of Witch Bedroom for a Drills and Chills weekly video. And then as far as this week's Drills and Chills weekly video, I think I'm planning to do a small shop haul that's specifically from Drills and Chills sponsors. And there are so many cute and amazing things that have been created for the event. I'm so excited, not just to open them and share them with you guys, but also I want to start using them. I'm just so excited that they're going to be here so I can start using them. I realized I didn't work with a lighter color that had those issues I was trying to describe to you guys. I was just going to quick look and see if I had one so that you knew what I was talking about earlier. Excuse me, I just hiccuped. What was that really light color? Oh, I think was this one? Nope, not that one. There was one that was a real problem. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I will, I'm sure I'll mention it and show it in a post review video, but I'm of course also going to very nicely let the shop owner know, like, hey, is there something I noticed? And I'm not mad because it's a brand new shop. This is literally one of their first runs of kits. But look how pretty it's coming out. I had no issues with any of these drills. These were great. So anyway, you guys, let's see. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, I feel like we have lots of blue tones going on. So how about, a lot of blue colors today. How about just any emoji that has blue in it for this week's, if you made it all the way to the end, comment. Let me know how you're doing and what you're working on. And there was a question I asked you guys earlier that I don't remember what it was. So I'm going to trust that your memory is better than mine. But I really appreciate that you guys take some time to spend with me. And I love doing these weekly WIP and Chats just to update you on all things like crafting and content and life. And it's one of my favorite things I get to do each week. So anyway, I hope you have a day and a week that is as amazing as you are. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.